Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your SmackDown Women's Champion, Naomi. Naomi, I think, given the match that we just saw, it's fair to say that whoever walks out of Battleground victorious this Sunday, you could be facing your biggest challenge yet as a SmackDown Women's Champion come SummerSlam.
Well, let me just first say, although I won't be defending the SmackDown Women's Championship Sunday, please believe I will be the first in that ring to personally congratulate whoever becomes the #1 contender. So whether it's Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Tamina, or Lana, they just better be ready to go. Because when it's glow time, there ain't no stop.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Welcome to the Full Nelson Press Podcast, episode 72, predicting Battleground 2017. I'm the creator of the FullNelsonPress.com. My name is Brandon Kirkpatrick. You can find me on Twitter at JohnnyJonny_Tango. I'm here with the host of the Rated M Podcast, Mr. Dan Classic himself. You can find his content at SuperHammerBros.com. And of course, you can follow the Full Nelson Press on Twitter at TFNP. Dan, are you ready to predict the Battleground?
Wow, you make me sound so professional in that introduction.
Right? I hope some of our listeners have heard at least one of your shows.
I hope so too, because it's a really awesome show. It's a real honor to be sitting in the co-host chair of the distinguished Mr. Pete O'Brien, who is absent this week.
Yes, Pete is traveling right now. He's actually stuck in an airport right now trying to get out of Detroit. He texted me all of his answers and what he predicted, but fuck O'Brien. It's just going to be you and me tonight.
I'm taking over.
Let's jump right into the pay-per-view. First match of the night we're going to have is Aiden English versus Tye Dillinger. The missing Tye Dillinger.
Does anyone care anymore about Tye Dillinger?
I think he has a fan base. It's just I think who backstage cares about Tye Dillinger.
Yeah, it's gotten to that point, and I was afraid that this was going to happen too when he first showed up. When they debuted him at Royal Rumble and didn't debut him on the show.
Yeah, right, which was weird.
It was really weird, and then it kind of took the steam off of him, and now they finally brought him up. They put him in, on SmackDown there, and have done absolutely nothing with him. He was better off just being a number 2 babyface on an NXT.
Yeah, he's great for house shows. He's great for little promotions, but there's nothing they're really doing with him right now. It'd be nice to see him team up with Tyler Breeze and Fandango or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's nothing to do with him. It's just how they're using him. He's a good wrestler, and he's obviously popular. When they debuted him, you saw the big pop he got. So it wasn't like they were like, who the fuck is this guy? But they've done a really good job of getting the crowd to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Exactly. Right? And I know creative is just didn't we already fucking fire Damian Sandow? Who is this guy?
Well, that's what you get for getting over.
Too over. That's Tye Dillinger's got to be worried about that. He's like, shit, if I get too over, are they just going to shit can me and make me not use the Tye Dillinger name?
Yeah. Or they'll do the Zack Ryder.
Woo, woo, woo.
He'll just be be the number 1 jobber.
So who do you think's winning this? Jobber versus Jobber. Aiden English versus Tye Dillinger.
I'm assuming that it's going to be Dillinger. I feel like they're still acting as if they're going to do something with him, and this is part of that.
Yeah, he needs a storyline. Give him some kind of storyline. Give him more time on the mic, and I think he can prove creative wrong. But right now, it feels like anybody on both the blue and red brand who is in the creative room just hates NXT. Just hates what comes out of it. Already has a chip on their shoulder when they're showing up. Unless it's somebody who made a bigger name than they did when they were in NXT, they just don't care.
I guess. I mean, like, I don't know what they're doing. And like, look, I've been watching the New Japan Pro Wrestling. I finally broke down and got the subscription to New Japan World, and you know what? I've been spoiled recently. Like, just watching straight up wrestling. No bullshit, no backstage skits, nobody trying to act, nobody trying to do bad comedy. It's just really good, hard-hitting wrestling, the way it's supposed to be. Like, the reason why everybody's on AJ Styles' dick, the reason why everybody was on, Nakamura's dick, is because of New Japan.
I completely agree. I tried to watch a Ring of Honor, it was the Ring of Honor crossover pay-per-view that they had. Battle of the Worlds or whatever it was called. Bad pay-per-view to start New Japan Pro Wrestling, because JR and whoever else is commenting on that did not help any of the situations, and I felt like I just need to get away from this.
Were you talking about the New Japan G1 special in Long Beach? Was that? Did you watch that? That was awesome.
Okay, yes. So the version I started watching, I realized was 6 hours long because it had the whole tournament, and once I realized it, I was invested into the tournament, but I haven't gotten to the end of it yet, and I want to blame JR wholeheartedly on that, because he's making it really hard to watch. I almost want to just mute it and just watch it that way.
Really? So you would rather see JBL and whoever the fuck...
Oh, I am not comparing them. They are the worst. They are the worst, but at least they know the wrestlers' names. They at least know the wrestlers' names, okay? I gotta give them that. When JR is like, I think that's him, it's not? Is it this guy? Well, they all wear masks. I don't know.
Wearing masks. That's their fault. That's their fault for hiring JR. They wanted JR on their show, expected to learn the names of all these Japanese guys.
Speaking of Japanese guys, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Mr. Lone Wolf in the Bank, Baron Corbin. Who's winning this one? Does it even matter?
It doesn't. Like, this is another case of who gives a shit.
Shinsuke wins, and Baron Corbin, it doesn't matter because he's still got the briefcase. He could lose all year.
They're not afraid to beat him. They've already proved that.
Yeah.
So Nakamura is going to probably be the winner in this contest. I feel like in the case of, just like the case of Dillinger, they still are going to do something with Nakamura, or they're acting like they're going to do something with Nakamura at some point.
It's like, with him, I feel like they just have him on the back burner because they're like, he's over. We don't really have to do much with him. He can't talk on the mic too well. We'll just give him matches, give him his spots that he needs, and just be done with it.
How on earth is he going to do a 20-minute promo at the top of the show?
I know. And they got it down now to a science, because they have some guy come out and he talks for 20 minutes, and then they just have his music hit, and he just comes out and goes, "You can't beat me." Crowd goes nuts. Throw the little graphic up in the corner. End of the whole show right there.
You could just have him not talk at all.
Well, that's what the artist, the formerly known as Shinsuke Nakamura, does.
For like the first 5 years of Kane's career, he barely said a word.
Yeah, but at least he had a good enough story, so we'll see. Shinsuke's good in the ring, so I don't really worry about it too much.
Yeah, this is going to be, as far as him dragging a good match out of Corbin. We've seen it before in NXT anyway. These two have gone at it before, I believe. So it has the opportunity to be good. I hope they do something with Baron Corbin before his hair completely falls out.
Just get rid of it. Just have a hair versus hair match with the Shinsuke Nakamura and just cut that shit off. It needs to be done. Bald it, maybe put a tattoo. You could tattoo a hair up there. I don't care. But I really hope this briefcase kind of kicks Corbin in the nuts and he kind of picks it up on the mic. Because he is getting better in the ring, and I'm liking the dirty clotheslines that he's doing. And he does, if you follow him on Twitter, he makes some really fun jabs. But I just feel like once he gets that mic, he's just dead.
It's because he's saying someone else's words. When you see these guys and they're on Twitter or they're on Talking Smack or whatever, which we're probably going to talk about in a minute, but when you see them on that, you're seeing them as themselves, as their character, and they come off 100% better than they do in the ring.
Let's move on to another match. Breezango finds out who is trashing their office this week. I've been really enjoying the Fashion Police. This actually has me stumped because I don't know. They've killed off 7 tag teams this year. What tag team is going to be feuding with them? It has to be a new setup of 2 people, and it's got to be heels from the SmackDown division. I don't know who it is.
Are you assuming that this is going to end up in a wrestling match?
I hope so. I'm being optimistic.
You watch WWE all the time. How could you be so foolish?
I have to be optimistic to enjoy it.
The most likely scenario that this is either going to end up being nothing and they'll just move on with their lives and they'll do more skits, or we just won't see Breezango on TV anymore, or for a while, and they'll just be doing jobs on Superstars or whatever stupid hour-long wrap-up show they have.
I really think this is another tag team breakup. I really do. You see, like,
these guys are gonna
why
break
not?
up and
That's just been the theme. Like, WWE is totally just Game of Thrones in their whole tag team division right now because everyone's hating everybody.
After all this time, they did all this work to build up the tag team division again and have real tag teams with tag team names and guys that dressed alike and went together as a team, and now they're just taking it apart. Piece by piece.
They're like, Vince, what do we do? The 205, no one's watching it. Break up all the tag teams. Break them all up. We don't need them.
Oh, man. It's a thing. They spend all this money on these guys.
Yeah.
You know how much money they've spent on Tyler Breeze? From the time he got signed all through development, the whole time he was at NXT, like he wasn't working as a volunteer.
No. And that's the thing with him on Twitter is he's just like, if people are like, you're such a jobber, you suck, and he's like, still getting paid, bros, don't care.
And that's what kind of sucks is when they get to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm just making a check. It's like, yeah, but you're shitty and nobody likes you, and what's gonna happen is, eventually they're gonna future endeavor the guy. And what are you going to do? Then you're going to try to convince everybody that you're, doing it for the love of the game?
Oh, no. I see Tyler Breeze as if they ever let him go, he's done. He's got his paycheck. He can go invest that and do something else with it.
And that's the difference between a pro wrestler and a sports entertainer. And people ask me why I don't like The Miz and why I don't like certain guys. It's because you fire The Miz tomorrow, he ain't going to New Japan. He ain't going to Global Force, whatever the fuck. He's done. He's going to go try to be an actor or whatever.
Yeah.
That won't work out, but that's what he's going to do. He's not going to be – you're not going to see him on some indie show. And that's the and that's why I don't like him, because he's not a fucking pro wrestler. He's a guy playing at pro wrestler.
Next, we have a Fatal 5-Way elimination match to determine who is taking the title from Naomi at SummerSlam. We have Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Lana. They are taking on Tamina Snuka because I guess she's there too.
We've gone all this time, the women's revolution, and they built up all these stars, and they did all these great matches, and we had a Hell in the Cell, and we had ladder matches, and we had all this shit, and we're going to have a tournament coming up here, and they're right back to being the Divas division. They might as well bust out the butterfly belt.
I think they're doing a shit ton better than what the Divas division was.
I mean, the match quality is going to be better than when we were in the sort of Divas era, but the importance of it is exactly where it was.
I hope they get TV time. Like that, I don't want to see a Fatal 5-Way match that's going to end in 5 minutes.
But do you care? Have they built it up in a way that you're actually compelled to want to see what happens?
It's Naomi. Naomi is the Brock Lesnar of SmackDown. She only defends it every 30 days. And, I mean, or not even, 60 days. She has not defended it. She won't defend it for at least 60 days once it gets to SummerSlam.
Isn't that funny that, like, she got the belt taken off of her because she was, fake injured and then she wouldn't be able to defend it within 30 days?
Yeah.
And now she defends the belt every 90 days?
Yeah, exactly.
The WWE sucks.
We need to have a champion that makes me care about the women's division overall. Charlotte or Becky Lynch or even Lana, I'd be fine with.
You could care about Naomi if they did something with her. You could care about about Aiden English if they did something with him.
That's true.
You could care about anybody on the roster. They didn't hire these guys like fucking just shooting dice and being like, or throwing darts at a bunch of names. No, they hired these guys because they were good at what they did. So for that reason, any of those guys, you should be able to get into and figure out something to like about them, or to be interested to want to pay $10 a month to see them work. But they're creative, and I'll put that in quotes. They use that term loosely in the WWE. Creative has done a shit job of making these guys interesting, because I'm not even interested in Shinsuke Nakamura anymore. And he's the most interesting guy in the goddamn roster.
So who is winning this match? I'm going with the alpha bitch, Charlotte, because she's got to win this one.
Are they just going to turn her heel again?
I hope so. It's really weird seeing her face.
But then when you flip-flop somebody over and over again, it ruins their credibility, and then you end up like, you're going to end up hating them in the end. And you're going, I'm just so tired of Charlotte. She's heel, and then she's face, and then she's heel.
You made a problem because you're looking at this from the fans' perspective and not the company's. They don't give a fuck.
I'm actually looking out for you because you're the one that has to watch it.
Well, we'll move on to the next match then.
Charlotte. I'll say Charlotte.
All right, there we go. SmackDown Tag Team title match. The Usos defend their title against the New Day. Did you watch their rap battle at all?
I saw the clips, yes.
Hilarious.
You know what would have been awesome? A match. It would have been awesome to see like Kofi Kingston or Xavier Woods like do some wrestling.
Well, hey, so you can't be complaining. No. So they go from the rap battle to Xavier Woods and one of the Usos having a match, to then the following week Kofi Kingston, one of the Usos have the match. So they're just pacing it out week by week.
And I could also see I'd like to see Big E have a match too.
Well, maybe he's in the pay-per-view and we'll go full circle.
All right, we finally get to see Big E because he's good too. All three of those guys are awesome in the ring.
Yes,
and we found out that like, okay, they're valuable like entertainers. Okay, but let's meet that out. Let's Andre the Giant this. Let's make it special. Mm-hmm. Let's, make me look forward to a New Day segment where they just come out and act like clowns. Not like, oh, God, these assholes again? Because that's what it's becoming.
Well, we'll move on to the next match. We have the United States Championship match, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. I'm excited for this match just because the next two matches are gimmick matches. We have the Cena and Rusev and Orton and Mahal. I kind of hoping they're short matches, so I'm kind of hoping this is kind of a match they give some time to. I don't even care who wins this one. I'm excited for either one.
Well, Brandon, you can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. But this match, you're right, has the potential and probably will be the best match on the card.
Very true. I'm kind of hoping it's just a straight up wrestling match.
For anyone that has to sit through it, I should hope this match goes like, at least 25 minutes.
It won't, but let's hope. let's hope for 15.
It's a goddamn pay-per-view. What are they gonna do? You know what they do on these dumb pay-per-views now is they do skits and they have people come out and talk in the ring for 20 minutes.
It's also almost 9 matches in 3 hours, so
it's just as long as Raw, and we have to sit through that plus commercials if you're a good WWE fan.
So who's winning this one? I don't care. I'm excited.
Doesn't matter. Yep. I'm gonna say AJ though, because Owens got the upper hand on SmackDown on the Go Home show. So that's how the WWE works. If you get your ass kicked on the Go Home show, you're going over at the pay-per-view, baby.
Next is a capture the flag match: John Cena versus Rusev. Whoever wins this gets the flag.
They win a flag.
Yeah, I guess you get to swing both of them around for like the next month or as long as you want. John Cena's winning this one, I guess.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because he got his ass kicked on the Go Home show on SmackDown, and John Cena always wins. Didn't he beat up Rusev like 2 years ago
at a WrestleMania? Rusev brought a tank and he still couldn't win.
Didn't they already job out poor Rusev to
I don't even know what's next for him with Rusev. If anything, just team him up with Jinder Mahal maybe next. That's like the only thing I see they can really do with him on SmackDown that they're not already doing with Jinder Mahal.
He should just quit. He's at a point where he hasn't been, his credibility hasn't been destroyed enough.
Rusev's too dumb to quit.
He's okay. For those of you that believe that Rusev is the guy that he plays on TV, he's actually not. if you listen to him talk in his real voice, he sounds like you.
I'm sure he does.
He's some guy from the Midwest. Yeah, Rusev's actually a pretty intelligent dude. And not to mention he's multilingual and all that stuff. He's smart enough to know, or should know, that his credibility hasn't been destroyed enough and that he can go and make a very good living as an independent wrestler somewhere else. And plenty of guys have done it. The only reason AJ Styles finally decided to come to the WWE is because he wanted to be at home with his kids more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see WWE turning into, like, the slow-down show for people who don't want to be... it's not on the road that's the issue. It's like, it's getting the gigs, it's booking and stuff like that. And if you have someone else to just do that for you, that's great.
Yeah, it's like wrestling's version of retirement. I mean, that's what Nakamura is using it as. Nakamura hasn't had a hard-hitting match since NXT.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens the same way. I mean, these are the people that are like, this is where I'm just going to end. And I mean, that's great for the WWE audience, I guess.
Yeah, we get to see these guys in the twilight of their careers.
Well, I wouldn't say it's not TNA Twilight years, so at least we're good there.
Don't you mean Global Force Wrestling?
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Hey everybody, Dan Classic here, and I want to tell you about the Super Hammer Bros podcast presents Rated M with me, Dan Classic. Featuring co-hosts from all walks of life with unique perspectives that you won't hear anywhere else. No holds barred discussion on art, geek culture, and literally anything under the sun. No subject is too dangerous. You can find all this, videos, artwork, podcasts, and more at superhammerbros.com.
All right, now we have the main event, the Punjabi Prison Match for the WWE Championship, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Why did Jinder pick this match? His last two title defenses, he only won because the Singh boys helped him out. So he decides, shouldn't it be the other way? Shouldn't
so
Orton
now
be
the
like,
bad guy is like, I need this to be in a cage so no one can hear.
But not just a cage, but a cage over a cage made of bamboo. I kind of want to see Baron Corbin try to cash in, but not understand how the cage works. Like, he's fiddling around, he's like going back down the cage on the same side. He's like, I can't get up there with this briefcase. Or he gets over it, but he leaves the case on the other side, so he's trying to get it through one of the squares. Oh man, that'd just be the best part.
I tune in to SmackDown after having not seen it for a few months, and the show opens up, and I see this opening with this orange light and this bamboo everywhere.
This giant fire hazard.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I can't see the ring. You know what? I've seen a scaffold match, but I've never seen a scaffolding match. And I guess that's what they're doing.
How are we going to see this match?
You're not. That's going to be the best part about it. Is you're not going to have to see these two boring assholes wrestle each other.
And even if we do, we're going to have one cameraman obviously in the ring with them.
Yeah.
At least two cameramen in the inner circle of the ring. And then how many outside, plus probably a crane and then like a drop down?
Well, they're probably going to have the top down, and they're going to have the hard cam, obviously. But you can't see anything from the hard cam.
Yeah.
And so you'll have the guys around the ring, but they can get through the squares.
I almost feel like WWE should just start, like, even with Hell in the Cell, just start putting cameras in the corner of the cage itself. And just have them just not even manned, just have these like CCTV style cameras just in the corners.
Like security cameras.
Yeah. Because like sometimes it'd almost be better just to go from one of those angles to just see the frickin' match.
Well, they change the angles so much and move the camera around so much.
Shake cam.
It's almost impossible to watch. Like, when you go from watching WWE to actually watching professional wrestling, it's just like, it's almost jarring. You're like, wow, I can actually tell what's going on. I can follow what these guys are trying to do in the ring, and it's almost as if I'm there watching it live. You know, it's maybe a little bit better because I get a couple more angles on it, but not like where it's like, every time someone makes contact with somebody else, every time somebody throws a punch or takes a bump, it's camera cut, and then shaking around when someone's getting punched in the corner.
And that's not to mention the times they cut to the wrong camera and then we miss the whole bit.
or even better when they cut to some fucking, botched abortion in the crowd reacting to what's going on in the ring.
All WWE is like, oh, Finn Balor just did a spot. Look for anybody with a Finn Balor shirt and cut to that person right now. That's all it is.
And I didn't even tell you who I thought was going to win the Punjabi Who Gives a Shit match.
Oh, that's right. Doesn't even matter. I'm going to go with Jinder Mahal. I mean, that's how obvious it is.
They've done all. I want to talk about Jinder for a second because I don't have a platform to bitch about stupid shit like this. I try to talk about it. I could talk about it on my show and no one would care. So Joel would look at me like I have no idea what you're talking about. So they hire Jinder Mahal because they were hiring a bunch of guys to come back and do jobs. Known guys that they were going to have come back in and do jobs. They did that with Zack Ryder's old partner. What's his name?
Kurt Hawkins. They did that to fill up because this was when the brand split happened. Yep, they needed people to lose.
They bring in these extra guys, just warm bodies to do jobs. And they bring in old Punjab man to come in and do that. So in, a year's time, he was doing jobs. And he did jobs for a long time. And he looked like an ass. They had him in that loser squad.
3MB.
Or they had him in the other loser squad with Wade Barrett and company.
Oh no, he wasn't part of the. You're thinking of the League of Nations. No, he wasn't part of that.
He wasn't that?
Nah, that's racist as fuck, man.
I could have sworn that's not racist.
I'm giving you shit. No, that was Barrett, Del Rio, Rusev, and Sheamus. It was only those four guys.
You know what? You're absolutely right. And this whole time I was like, he was probably in that too. It doesn't matter.
The only reason he's where he's at right now is because of the WWE deal with India.
That's what happened. They made this deal with India because initially what happened is that they looked on their social media and they saw, wow, there's a lot of accounts in India.
And he's face in India because they do half his promo in whatever the language is there. And it's a face promo, or they change because it's not live in India, so they are able to edit it out. So he's like face, he's like on billboards there and everything like that.
Wonderful. Now the reason why they did that is because they found they had a lot of people who were fans in India.
Oh yeah.
The problem is that the median income in India is $1,700 a year American. That would be like if the WWE network cost $500 a month. Even if you had 15 people that were into it, you would really have to it would be a stretch. It would be a stretch to get it in a goddamn restaurant if it cost $500 a month. You know what? Who sells a lot of T-shirts in India? John Cena, Roman Reigns, all the guys that sell the fucking T-shirts in the first place. They don't need it. They've been touring there for years. They go over there. And Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold and on The Rock and all those guys were popular over there. You know why? Because they're the number one guys. And the international people love the number one guys. And you'll make Jinder a number one guy and maybe they'll pop for him or maybe they'll, buy a T-shirt or whatever. But it wouldn't be anything more than they would have done for a John Cena or whoever the fuck you put in the top spot.
I kind of want you to be right because I want that moment to happen where they realize they're wrong and Jinder goes right back to the bottom.
Even if they do, it's not like they're going to admit it. It's not like you're not going to be satisfying in any sort of way. It's not going to be like, well, we fucked up.
So what is your grade to build the Battleground?
I feel like they got all these yokels excited for this dumb match, but I feel like these dumb yokels are going to be really disappointed when they can't see it. Because where were they on SmackDown? What city were they at? They were like in buttfuck Nebraska or something?
They were like in Nashville, I think.
Okay, that makes sense because it was just like, wow, these people really over for this fucking Punjabi prison.
They wanted the Punjabi prison that night.
Randy, like, really? Like, this is awful. How could you cheer for this? But they're going to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is not really known for being super forgiving when it comes to WWE's bullshit.
No, absolutely not.
And this is going to be a a nice pile. So the build up, I would give it a D-.
I really want to hear one of like the Philly radio commercials for this. Are you ready to go extreme? Are you ready to go to prison? A Punjabi prison. I'm gonna go with a C+. I really enjoyed the rap battle between the Usos and the New Day. I really like the hatred that Kevin Owens has towards everyone, and kind of shining for me. So I'm gonna go with a C+.
I don't think that's your grade.
Why not?
Because I've been listening to you this whole time, and you're not excited to see this at all.
I am excited.
You could miss this and you wouldn't care.
That's not true. I am very invested in the Breezango. I want to know who's trashing their office. I think Tye Dillinger really needs this win tonight. Kind of hoping that we might see Michael Kanellis.
Really? Want to see Michael Kanellis?
Yeah. A lot of people hating on this gimmick, but I think he can go pretty far.
How far are they going to go? Is he going to go as far as Aiden English is going?
No, I think he could be a top heel. I really think
they've spent enough money on him. Yeah. They've spent plenty of money getting him there. And, because he was a big deal in TNA. And he was actually, pretty interesting to watch when he was there. Of course, he was wrestling all the time. So, you kind of get that happens.
Let's give it, because he's in that same thing WWE does with all their debuting wrestlers. They hold off until the pay-per-view for an actual match. So we'll see what happens after that.
He had a match with Sami Zayn, another guy that's in the dumps.
Quick prediction, who do you think will get the title first? Sami Zayn, who's been on the main event roster for at least a year.
Sami Zayn is never winning the world title.
Or Tye Dillinger. No, I'm not saying world title, I'm saying a title, a singles title.
A title? So Zayn or Dillinger?
Yeah.
Dillinger is in the scheme of the main roster is newer.
Yes.
He's in a match at the pay-per-view. Sami Zayn ain't. Sami Zayn will be sweeping up the ring or doing whatever the fuck he's doing.
Putting the ropes up. Hey, where are the purple ones? We need the purple ones. All right, so who is your dud of the night?
Oh, my God. The WWE Creative Team has been the dud of the build.
I get that.
They've been the dud of the decade.
I'm going with Naomi because she's not even on the card. She's the women's champion, and she just totally just feels protected.
We've got a pay-per-view, and we've got, they have this throwaway put 1,000 girls in it match. This was back when they, it reminds me of when they didn't care about the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
They would just put 6 random guys together in a match on the pre-show for the fucking Intercontinental title. I'm surprised that the girl match isn't on the pre-show. Because it belongs on the pre-show. There's no title on the line. Nobody cares.
I want Naomi on the pre-show so she can explain herself on why she does not have a match for the night. They did this last, at Money in the Bank. They had a Money in the Bank match that was great, and she just took on Lana that night. That's all it was. Tonight, they're not even going to let her take on anybody.
Why is Lana wrestling?
She is the future of the division, Dan. You don't even know. You don't even see the potential.
Guess I don't. I guess I don't. You know what they see? They see someone that's actually been in a movie that wasn't one of their shitty movies. They see someone that's got acting experience. They see somebody that's that has a little bit of mainstream to them, and they'll go all the way with somebody like that. You could be a B-list fucking celebrity show contestant, some sort of person that's like a quasi-celebrity. You show up in WWE, they will make you the champion.
Do you think on their application they ask how many Instagram followers do you actually have right now?
I love how they care so much about what happens on the internet now, because 15, 20 years ago, they would say, oh, don't worry about what people say on the internet. Those internet people, they don't matter. That's only a small portion of the audience.
You're going back far. I'm saying 2014 and below, WWE was acting that way. To WWE now, I think they're making enough money that it's really come down to the point that they're we just want a presence everywhere.
They really care about what's trending worldwide, but dude, a lot of stupid shit gets to end up trending worldwide.
There's a hot dog meme going on right now.
Yeah, the hot dog that everybody hates.
And WWE is put a fucking title on that hot dog right now.
Hot dog, if they could put a title on the Instagram filter hot dog, that guy would be the next fucking WWE champion.
Give that food a flag and put him in the Cena match.
Dude, he'd be going over Cena.
Who is your stud of the night?
Oh my God.
I'll go first. I'll go with flag stores. I think they're really booming right now.
flag stores. Do you really think that's over though? Like, of course, in Nashville they were like hyped up about it. Do you think in Philadelphia that the mostly left-wing WWE audience in Philadelphia at a pay-per-view is going to give two shits about a flag match between Rusev, who's actually liked by those fans, and John Cena, who is not liked by those fans? And it doesn't matter whose flag he's fighting for because everybody knows it's bullshit anyway.
Creative may have had that same meeting and be like, listen, they're going to shit on it anyways. Let's have a pizza party. Let's just write something up. They're gonna hate it. Let's just do whatever we want this week. Let's have fun. And they made the flag match, not even caring, knowing it was just gonna be shit on.
It's so awful. Like that. Did you have a real like stud of the build?
I really don't. It's been flag stores since we first talked.
If you sound like all the evidence is pointing to you not giving a shit at all about what happens.
No, man, you're talking to a guy who's a regular WWE watcher. I'm a guy who's like, you know what? Out of everything they've done lately, C+.
So you're just basing it on what they've done this year, which has all been bad.
I gotta, dude. There's gotta be like a leveled out place. I can't give an F every week. No one's gonna listen to my show.
Sure they will. People love that shit.
Well, do you have a stud?
You know who's going to carry this show, is going to make or break this show, is going to be AJ and Owens.
Okay.
And I'm going to say AJ and Owens because the fact that they've put these guys together and said, okay, like, well, finally we're going to put two good wrestlers together in a match against each other, and we're going to have some good wrestling for the few people who have stuck around to hope to see some. Here it is. Those guys are studs. So, and you know what? For as much as we've said that those guys are kind of like spinning their wheels at this point, AJ still puts on a good fucking show.
For sure. So they canceled Talking Smack and Renee Young's Unfiltered, but no one watched that.
I watched it. I love Renee Young.
Yeah, she's a great woman. Sure is. I never watched an episode of Talking Smack live.
I don't know how you could have, after having sat through a WWE program, that you're going to watch another half an hour, 45 minutes of WWE programming.
There was something different with Talking Smack that I really enjoyed because they were more, I think it was the Superstars show. It was their time to do, there wasn't creative involved. This was kind of like what you said earlier with people being able to talk on Twitter. I think they were able to do a lot more of that. And I wish because it sounds like they're just going to do it now after pay-per-views, which is fine. But it gave them more buzz on social media. Yep. When Miz did talking or anything like that, even if no one watched this on the network, people were watching it on Facebook.
Yeah, people were going back to it too. Like, so if that whole thing with the Miz where he was like did his little thing, and it was like, wow, the Miz can cut a promo.
To watch that promo, no one went to the network to watch it. They just looked it up on YouTube.
Watched the clips on YouTube.
Yeah, they watched on YouTube. Like, I feel like it, even if it didn't make you any money, any viewership, it was still giving you a social media presence every week. And I almost feel like Vince is almost just sabotaging his own company before he leaves. He's just like, I want it back to zero before I die.
Well, if that's the case, he's making good headway in that direction. We're rapidly heading towards zero.
Yeah, we truly are.
If you've seen if you've been following the ratings or following any sort of the business news regarding the company, it's headed that direction. They're doing some very desperate things, trying to make some moves and stuff to get people, because they made a promise to their investors back in 2012 that they were going to have 3 million subscribers to the network.
And I think it proves with the SmackDown brand, especially with Jinder Mahal, their strategy is we need to be more accessible to the world instead of taking our product and maybe just improving it.
Maybe this shitty product will get over somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not doing anything here because they have 1.5 million subscribers and around abouts. Yeah. And that's what they've had the whole time. They still need to double their subscribers somehow, and they haven't been able to do it yet. They've added extra language options because they are trying that international thing.
Right.
They lied and said they were going to have a British show. They still haven't done that.
Oh, the UK show, yeah.
They gave a guy a goddamn belt for that thing, and they've done absolutely nothing with it. Because what's been proven is that when they have original wrestling content on the network, new original wrestling content on the network, it outdraws everything else on the network. It outdraws stupid cartoon shows that are expensive to produce, silly freaking prank shows that are expensive to produce. It's all cost a lot of money to make and doesn't make them any money, doesn't get them any subscribers, and doesn't generate any interest in their network. What does is new wrestling content. And I don't know why we don't have more new wrestling content of a high quality. 205 Live would be good if it was given its own place. Like if they filmed that thing at Full Sail.
Yeah, I agree. Putting it, because it really does, because you're watching it and you're seeing like people leaving, you know, right in the middle of it. By the time
they've been sitting there for 3.5 fucking hours. Do you think they want to sit there for another, hour to see a bunch of guys that they don't care about?
Right.
No. But you do it at Full Sail where the fans are a little smarter.
And over. They, like, anybody who shows up there, they're just like, I love them.
People get over down there. And when you have an audience that's excited, it makes the audience at home, it tricks them into thinking like, oh, that guy's a star.
Watch one of the episodes of the CWC and then watch the newest episode of 205. The atmosphere is completely different.
Exactly. You watch any of those guys on CWC when they come out and you're like, holy shit, these guys are stars.
Yeah, right?
You can still have that reaction from people, and you just bring these guys in every once in a while to Raw or SmackDown, you get a way bigger reaction than you would right now. You can have your own angles. You can have your own stuff going on. It wouldn't feel like it was happening after SmackDown. You see people with their families filing out of the building as the show begins.
Right. It's literally like the people who are sitting there to the end are the same people who like stay to the end of all movies in the movie theater.
Like at the end of the credits.
Yeah, at the end of the credits. So like, this isn't a Marvel movie. Like, they're like, I'll stay. Meanwhile, their kids are pulling the app up and just watching it live on their phone on the drive home.
Exactly.
All right, man. So let's move on to some listener questions. Remember to use the hashtag AskTFNP on Facebook, Twitter, Wrestling Amino, or email your questions at contact@thefullnelsonpress.com. T Money Mac asks, what current WWE feud bores you the most?
Wow.
I would say what feud is boring me the most? I don't want to talk because it's Raw, but Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. It just feels. I'm just so done with it. I'm so over this.
Isn't that terrible?
We ended this feud or put this feud on the back burner like 2 or 3 times due to injuries. So it's gone too far.
They mishandled it so badly. Like, if you want to make Roman Reigns, you want to force Roman Reigns as a good guy, then God damn it, force him as a good guy. Stop making him do like dickhead heel stuff.
Yeah, don't make him kill a guy.
Don't make me like Braun Strowman. Like, hey, you know what? Last year I hated Braun Strowman. I'm like, this big fucking green goof, get him the fuck off my TV. Now I'm like, dude, Braun Strowman is awesome. He hasn't gotten any better. His skills in the ring haven't improved. His skills on the mic haven't gotten any better. He's still a big goof, but I like him. Is because you've completely ruined your show and changed the way that you did things to where the fans do the opposite of what you want them to do. I'm usually a big contrarian about this, but I fell right into it, dude. Like, I like Braun Strowman.
All right, so what feud bores you right now?
Oh man, the whole thing is just like the New Day and the Usos. It's like, really? This is around the time that we're getting to this? Like, we should have gotten to this a long time ago, for one.
Well, here's the thing. Like, a year ago, they were feuding the same time. It was just New Day was heel, and Usos were face.
Right? And nobody cared then, and nobody really cares now. So that's a boring feud. Anything involving Baron Corbin is pretty boring.
That's true. Oh man, you're gonna love this next one then. The Mutt asks, could Baron Corbin be the next Undertaker but without the streak?
Could he be the shitty Undertaker?
Yeah,
yes.
like Undertaker's character was so protected. There's no way.
No one can be the next Undertaker because they'll never protect anyone again.
The wrestling industry will never be that way. Never.
Oh, it is that way if your name's Goldberg or Brock Lesnar.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like you're taking someone who's starting their career and protecting them all the way through their career.
Yes. That's what they should have done with Braun Strowman. Stop having him get his ass kicked. So no. Baron Corbin is going to be the first Baron Corbin. You'll be lucky in 5 years from now if you can remember, like, what was that guy's name with the receding hairline? Won the Money in the Bank.
The dude who lost that hair versus hair match versus Kalisto, and no one understood why it even happened in the first place.
They were going to cut off the little fins.
That's what it was. And he goes, "You madre de Dios, you may never."
Is poor Kalisto still around? He should leave.
He should be in the 205 right now. He's the guy to be on the Neville level.
If he was on 205 Live, they'd have something to do with him.
Kranos asks, which main event wrestler do you think is being used the worst?
Braun Strowman.
I think I gotta agree with you, man. He's more of a face now after that whole accident with the ambulance. All right, Dan, where can they find you? And give me a brief description of what our listeners can expect from the Rated M podcast.
All right, so every other Thursday at superhammerbros.com, you can find me and my co-host, Beautiful Joel, on the Rated M podcast. It is an uncut, uncensored discussion on video games, geek culture, art, whatever the hell we kind of come up with that week. Most of the time, we end up talking about lube.
Gross. That's disgusting.
It's a great show. It's a fantastic show. It alternates with the flagship show, the Super Hammer Bros podcast, which I'm also on from time to time. That's every Thursday at superhammerbros.com. We also have specials and stuff, like try to do it on Mondays. We had a couple of Kickstarter guys come on and talk about their projects. They were doing a couple comic books. And we plan on doing stuff like that into the future and special podcasts here and there. Also, I'm on Super Hammer Bros in color a couple times a week. We do toy reviews, action figure reviews on YouTube. And it's Super Hammer Bros in color on YouTube. Check that out. Me and my cohort, Raz Hawley.
Do you also review lube on there?
No, I haven't. This is all Joel's fault. like I'll talk about anything. I don't care. But when you get Joel over here and we start talking, it always comes back to lube. And it's always something new. It's not like we're just rehashing old lube stuff. It's always new lube stuff to talk about. It always comes up. Like it was first just lube in general and what type of lube do you like, and then it was the lube that looks like semen.
Ugh. That's disgusting.
Which exists, and I had to. I couldn't believe that. Could you believe that something like that actually exists? That's interesting, right?
It was like, I need this. I need this in my life right now.
Someone's like, I need lube that looks like semen. And you know why they did it? They have dildos that look like, they have fantasy dildos. They look like a dragon's dick.
Dan, this is a wrestling podcast. I gotta let you go. Make sure you check out his Slippery podcast. Well, that is the Full Nelson Press podcast, episode 72, predicting Battleground 2017. Anything else you want to add, Dan?
Suck a butt.
All right, we'll go watch some wrestling.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Leave us a comment and the guys might give you a shout out on the next episode. If you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure to leave us a review. You can also find the Full Nelson Press on Stitcher, Facebook, Wrestling Amino, Instagram, or visit us at thefullnelsonpress.com.